Hey everybody, it's me, the imperfect and crafty lioness. Just kind of figured I'd do some updates and show you some of what I was working on to try and keep my mind and my hands busy, during this time that I'm grieving. For those that don't know, my father passed away on June 18th, around 10:20 in the morning. It was very unexpected. The hospital was trying to get him into a rehab facility to help him heal up from the ulcer on his foot and to look into some of the newer issues with his heart that were coming up. We had the plan basically that he would come home, and I guess he had other ideas, and so did God. I kind of knew. Here, let me put something up here for you to look at, and I'll tell you more about it here in a bit. But I'll give you a chance to ooh and ah at this first before I move on. This is going to be shipping to somebody that I respect an awful lot here very soon. And I'll say who in a bit. But back to my father. On June 18th, it was the beginning of the nurses' strike that was happening for that particular hospital, which he died at Providence Portland Medical Center. And the Providence system is basically pretty big. So most of the hospitals in the Providence chain were all having nurses going on strike. Although even at the hospital my dad was at, it wasn't like a huge picket line or anything like that there. But so they were on day one. They hadn't even really started the strike yet before Dad passed away. I mean, because he passed away around 10:20 and they didn't get started till about 11. But part of me kind of wonders if maybe Dad knew what was going on and thought, you know what, you guys can go ahead and do your strike and everything. I'm going home. I'm out of here. Part of me kind of thinks maybe he was just tired of it all. But again, it was so unexpected. And on the last day that I saw him, which was on Father's Day, he was having a lot of problems with hallucinations. He had Parkinson's. So here he was in the hospital for three reasons. One, the bad ulcer on his foot. 2, the fluid around his heart. And then 3, the Parkinson's was causing some trouble. And the last day that I saw him, so my sister and I were both there at his hospital room. And he kept having these hallucinations. I could tell that he was seeing things. And at one point, I saw him kind of bend forward, put his hands out a little bit, and I could read his lips as he said, "That's my baby girl." I could see him saying, I could read his lips, "That's my baby girl." He would bend forward and pet the dog and say that. My dog, Gracie. And I said, "Oh, are you giving Gracie some love?" And he went, "Yeah." So he was seeing and petting an animal that wasn't there. And then later he told me that he had a dream that he was dying. That was after my sister had left. But I didn't know that he had told my sister that he'd been seeing Mom sitting in the room in the chair or on the end of his bed for a few days. So the way the nurses put it to me on the day that he passed, his heart rate went kind of abnormal. He already had AFib, And they did find something going on with the aortic valve of his heart. But they said he had a weird arrhythmia. And they immediately got up to go to his room, but by the time the nurse got there, he was already gone. And he'd given instructions, don't do anything heroic. You don't have to do CPR, just let me go. And so they did exactly as they told him. As he told them, I mean. So, and then they called me not long after he passed to let me know, and it was such a shock. Because here I had just seen him. I was planning to go back to talk to him. You know, give him a kiss or two and just see if I could find anything more out about the the place he was supposed to be going. And they called me, and the first thing that the doctor said to me, she says, "Are you sitting down?" And instantly, I knew this was not going to be a good thing. And when I sat down, I said, "Yeah, I'm sitting down." She says, "I'm so sorry to call and tell you this, but your dad passed away about 5 minutes ago." And I lost it. I'll be honest. I lost it. Because it was so unexpected. And here we were planning on bringing Dad back. And he wasn't going to be coming back. So. It's difficult. Yeah. I know where Dad is. I know he's in heaven. I know he's with Mom. And all the other family members that we'd lost in the past. But I've still got a hole right in the middle of my heart that was supposed to be filled by both parents. And I lost my mother on St. Patrick's Day of 2023. And now I'm losing my dad in summer of 2024. And yeah, it's not easy. To add insult to injury, right now I am in the middle of things with Social Security to get disability because I've had amputation of part of my foot, and my diabetes is not doing well. And from the aspect of depression, as I've been dealing with major depressive disorder for 8 years now, that's not doing so hot either. And I've run out of all the medications. From the time that we moved from Vancouver, Washington, into the state of Oregon, everything has been so up in the air. And I know we needed to leave Washington State because of the condition of the house, and things in Washington were just getting so dang expensive. So I accepted the move, basically. It's like we didn't have a choice. We needed to get out of there. But we just didn't really think things through, especially in the area of insurance for either myself or my dad. And I've been without a primary care now since middle of December. And no one can re-prescribe any of the medications that I have, not even the diabetic medications or the medications for depression and for the ADHD. I also was diagnosed with ASD1 a couple years ago, which is on the autism spectrum. So it's what they used to call Asperger's. But now they just refer to it as ASD1. And I was diagnosed with that a couple years ago. So I'm coming to terms with that as well. And if you hear little noises in the background, yeah, Ziggy's out here with me, and he's trying to compete and trying to talk over me. And the dog is moving about as well, and you probably won't see her because I have the camera pointed down here at the table, so you can see the stuff I've made. But just to kind of fill you in, I feel horrible right now. I'm out of almost all medications. I still have a little bit of my insulin left. But that'll be gone. The doctor appointment that I have to finally see whoever it is that they've set as my primary care physician. Because they gave the appointment to me in tail end of March, and now it's almost time for the appointment on June 26th. So here I've had to wait 3 months, slowly but surely wearing off of medications that I shouldn't be wearing off of. And it's been miserable. And then you add losing Dad on top of it. And I'm just not okay. I'm just not okay. I'm trying to distract myself, however, by doing things like what you're seeing here on this screen, this thing right here. Let me bring it up a little closer, maybe, so you can see it. This dragon and skull, as soon as I can afford to now, is going to be sent to someone I really respect quite a bit, and that is Blind Views, or Lonnie, as some people call him, but Blind Views. I made this dragon for him and thought he might like that. So BV, if you're watching this, that'll be yours soon. I've made quite a few other things. There's more than just the skull that I've made for Blind Views. More than that dragon, I mean. Dragon attacking the skull. I made that as well. Alas, poor Borak. He really fucked up. Anyway, so yeah, Lonnie, this one's yours too. I made something for Mrs. Views because I love to make jewelry. Oops, let me put it down here. It does have kind of a hologram effect on it. And yes, the earrings are coffin shaped. Coffin shaped. Sorry, Ziggy, you're getting noisy. So these are for Mrs. Views. And there was one more thing that I just added to the collection here to send. And this is also for Blind Views. This is a shaker coaster. It's got skulls. It has letters in there that will spell out Blind Views. Things get stuck here and there on these shaker coasters, but they're kind of fun. There is a little Jack Daniels bottle, mini Jack Daniels bottle in there. I couldn't find a Jägermeister, but anyway. So this also is for Lonnie. This is for Blind Views to put his drinks on in the future. So now I like making the shaker coasters. I make this part of them first, which is, oops, that has stuff in it, which is basically just me pouring it into a mold that I have to make this bottom part. And then once it's done, like this, and this, then I put things inside. And there's a little acrylic top that I put on there. This is another shaker coaster. This is my beach one that I made for us, our house. This has little jellyfish in it and real shells, and spells out beach in there. So, but yeah, I really enjoy making these things because, I mean, they're fun and you're learning as you're going along. But anyway, so those are the shaker coasters. Mostly, I've been just going through the molds that I've had that I brought from the other house and been playing with them. here's another thing that I made. Bring it down here. Doesn't help that the ring light is kind of throwing things. There you go. This clock. This isn't the best looking clock because it kind of messed up while I was making it. But I shouldn't have taken it out of the mold first and then put it back in and tried to put the black over it. That was a real rookie move. So I've learned there. Yeah. Don't do that. But this is a fun clock. And I have another. I still have the clock mold. And I have another one of these little clock faces that I am reserving. And I'm going to make another clock like this. I just don't know for who yet. If you're interested in the clock, let me know. Anyway, have that. And then the most recent project that I've been working on, because I was working on dragons before, was this wonderful dragon right here. So I was working on this dragon. I still have a ways to go because I can see some lapses in color in places that I have to go over with my chrome marker. So I am going to have to go over parts of it. Zig! Stop it. Yeah. Anyway. Normally with the chrome markers, and you see the roses here as well, I will take the chrome markers and I will go around the tip of the roses and such. Now I can see clearly in here that I had some bubbles. So if I try and do that on these roses, yeah, the bubbles will show. Most likely. Although I'll still show you how I'll do it. But I wanted to show you this dragon first. And it'll be done probably within the next few days. But I have to go back over it with the pens that I have, and then the chrome markers and all that good stuff to make this really pretty. And this one doesn't have someone who it's for right now. So if this is looking nice to anyone, let me know if you want it. But it'll take me a while to send it to you since I can barely afford to pay attention right now. As a matter of fact, I'm not getting paid anything right now. We're still waiting on the Social Security Administration to give me a determination on my disability. And until that time, I'm not allowed to work at all. Not even like a small, like 20 hours or less a week. And I'm not even allowed to do that. And to be honest, I'm not sure that I could do that anyway. But I basically have little to no income right now. So I'm trying to figure out what the hell I can do to help me. I have been assured by my brother and sister that I'm not going to end up homeless. At least that's what they say. And there's just other weird circumstances surrounding all of this as far as the house I'm in and all of that. I would eventually love to buy this little place from my sister and brother-in-law. I really would. And granted, it keeps me in an area that was once extremely liberal. It's not so bad at the moment. But man, it was sure catching up with the county next to us, which is Multnomah County. Yeah. Things are weird right now over here on the West Coast. I'm not even going to get into the political ramifications of everything because, to be honest, I'm already crazy. I don't need to make myself even more crazy by talking about politics. But anyway, so let me move this. Oh, I also, luckily, got a little gift from my sister to kind of keep my mind off some stuff. Easier said than done with that. Let's see if I can get this up onto the table so you can see when I open it. Whoa! Big box. Beads! Big time. A lot of them. There's some skulls in there. There's, you know, all sorts of beautiful little beads. There's some acrylic beads. You know, my sister basically put this together for me with the thought that it could help me focus myself a little bit better in the grieving process. So it may very well work. But there is something that these were in here as well. Let's put it back in. But I really like these beads right here. Very pretty. But there's quite a few of them, and I'm already getting some ideas on what I can do with them. They would fall more into the autumn collection of stuff that I make. I have these little leaves too, which I really love the look of these little acrylic leaves. So, but anyway, so my sister went ahead and put this together, and I've been perusing it, coming up with some ideas here and there. So I probably have more that I'll be making in the future that I could show off to you. And finally, I have been working on other jewelry. Well, before Dad passed, I was working on things because I live in Oregon. These are glow-in-the-dark earrings. And not just that, you know, I made different versions of them and everything. But I did make other colors of earrings, of these same kind of earrings. And I played with some other things as well. Here's the other pair here, but you can kind of see. And these are done with, like I mentioned, the glow-in-the-dark powder that basically you can color the resin. And when sun hits these and it's on them for a while, and you go back inside of a building, it's like a neon light almost. They are, especially the ones with the red and the green in it, especially. This one, these pretty good too. But yeah, so these are part of the pot collection. Because I live in Oregon, and I was told by my nephew, those will really sell. And he's not wrong. They will. I also made same mold and everything, but done differently. Those. Oops, can't see that one very well. But yeah, you can kind of see the leaves on it and all that. And then I took some regular sand and then mixed it with some things, including some of the shells that I have. Oh, stop it, you bum. If you hear the occasional scream from him, it's just Ziggy being a brat. Because I'm not doing what he wants me to do. But anyway. Alright. So those cute little ones right there. I made some dolphins. And then here's the whales that I made. Yeah, well, you can see them right there. But anyway, and those have mother of pearl in them, or abalone shell. I'm sorry, not mother of pearl, abalone shell, and little acrylic bubbles that I put in there as well. This does not. This one just had the abalone shell in there. And then, of course, I went ahead and got creative with a couple of molds just with the resin on its own. And that's these right here. Whoop, turn over. There. There's those. Whoops. Let's see if I can get it down a little more. Or up here a little more so you can see it. You see it? There. And that's just with regular resin that I did that, and just kind of swirled colors together. And then, of course, I do have other earrings, other things I've made that have been unique with various molds. This is one. I had a pair of earrings like this, and I can't find the other side to it, so oh well. But I have made quite a few earrings and have given them away quite often. These are the purplish ones with a little bit of the hologram look on them. I'm just, if I figure I can just sit there and make lots of jewelry in preparation for future. It's too late for me to do something for like the summer fair season because we're in the thick of it now. But I can make things toward like the holiday bazaars and everything. So we'll just see how things go for that. But I'm also going to be selling these online. And my sister's going to help me get that set up to where I can sell it online. And a friend of hers is going to help as well, who's already got a website set up, and they would just go ahead and, have my things on there, and hopefully they sell fast and I make some money and it'd be good. But anyway, one last pair of earrings here. These are the kind of black and red sparkly ones that I did. You can see it. The ring light isn't exactly helping, but anyway. So let's put that down there. And then with other things that I've done, now these weren't with glow in the dark, these were with transparent. But I made a few of these to make into kind of a little mobile to go onto my porch here. Yeah, because eventually this house is probably going to be mine. So I might as well just make things for it and make them fun. But, alright, it's coming. It's coming. There's the last one. Okay. So, I'd like to make a few more of these, some other colors in there and just fill them with kind of similar to how the shaker coasters go. I can go ahead and put little things inside there and then do a little acrylic or something that will keep it so they'd be like shakeable. But for now, this is what I made. So, and they're a lot of fun to make too. But I make them with the regular resin. And I'll just put these down here. There. So I'm showing all this off to you, and I think I've been on here for about a half hour, so maybe I should just just call it a night there with this. But one thing I will do is show you what I do is how I tip the roses. And you can see the rose as it is right here. What I do is I take this pen, which is a chromium pen, chrome marker, and it's gold actually, and I just simply go around the edges of the flower petals and such. If there's bubbles in here, then you're going to see the bubble marks and all of that. But, I just basically start, you can see what I'm doing here. And you kind of have to be careful with it too. Even though you can get the chrome marker off with a Q-tip that has a little alcohol on it, yeah, it's still kind of a pain in the tush. You want to make sure you don't hit anything else. So, but you can kind of see what I'm putting on here, and I'll have to go in and correct them later because I usually do miss a bit. Try not to get too much hair in there. No matter what I do, there's going to be dog hair in this house. So if I do something and I make something for someone, there's a good chance it may have dog hair in it. Unless I'm super, super, super careful, which I can be when I'm making something for someone. But, yeah. So, with this one, I enjoy doing these because I can give them away as gifts to people. And I've given quite a few of these roses to, well, in the past I gave them to my doctors and everything for them to set on their desks and all of that. So, you kind of see? Not done with it yet, you know, because if I can come down here and get the other part, you know, you can kind of see I go around, whoops, little blob right there, but I can do that. There we go. Yeah. But in all with resin, I usually can start doing things with it or get it out of molds and everything within about 12 hours. Depending on the kind of resin I'm using. I like using resin from a place called Let's Resin. But it's going to be hard for me to afford a lot of resin for a while. So the other thing I will probably work with a lot is beads. And Lord knows, you know, I got plenty of them now thanks to my sister. So anyway, there's the rose that's kind of tipped. It's not the most perfect job on there, but comparing it to this one, which isn't tipped at all, you can kind of see how it brings it out. And then of course I'm also doing little things like, you know, these crosses as well. I'm sanding this one because it had some bubbles. Bubbles is what I am actually fighting with most of the time with the resin, so I got to figure out how to make a good vacuum extractor to extract the bubbles that way so they can be easily popped on top before I pour. But I don't know if you can see this one very well, but this one was damaged by bubbles, and there's no way that I can pour anything into the cross in the center because it would roll out those dents. So this is what I mean by needing to get bubbles out. So I don't know if you can kind of see those little breaks in there. But anything, like any other resin color I tried to put into that would come right out. So. And then of course my little black cross that I made just for fun. And then of course I did take a, well, I do have this. This one needs to have a little bit of chrome marker on it. But I've given like several of these to a local cannabis shop that we've got here who knows that I do this kind of work. And I told them, I said, I'm not selling these right now, so this is for your coasters for your drinks while you're at work. Which they really like. And they said, just keep working on them and showing us stuff, and maybe in the future we'll be able to get it to where you could sell them in our shop. So I'm working on that part as well. There's quite a few cannabis shops in the area where I live. And it is possible that if I correct some of the issues that I'm having, like the bubbles and all of that, that I could make stuff that would be, in my mind anyway, worthy of being sold to the general public. But anyway, there's that. And then there's my first little stab at the tic-tac-toe game. Yeah. And I use chrome pen on those as well. But it's a lot of fun to make these. But there's that one also suffered from bubbles. So you might be able to see that a little bit. But it's fun, at least. So there's a whole bunch of different molds that I have. Resin molds that I have. There is a chessboard with chess pieces and checkers pieces that I'm going to be making for my brother. His birthday is coming up here in August. So I'm going to make him a chess and checkers set. But I know I've got many other projects too. And like I mentioned, you know, when I'm doing things with beads as well. And let me grab this. This will be the last thing I'll show you. And then I will say goodbye. Because I think 34, 35 minutes is a long time for a video of somebody who's just showing you stuff. So, alright. Now, I had already made this this particular necklace, it's hard to show you on this, but these are not acrylic leaves. These leaves are made of glass, and they're kind of I forgot exactly what they called them exactly, what kind of glass they were, but you can see the different colors. And what I'm getting ready to do with this one is, I just don't think there's enough leaves on here. I think there needs to be more. And that is why I have these that I'll be adding to this. You know, and just making it a little bit more colorful, you know. But anyway, so there's that. Well, with me showing you all of this and giving you an update, hopefully you didn't get too bored and check out on me, but I'd understand if you would, because I have a tendency to babble. And not everybody likes to listen to sob stories from folks. But just know I'm doing okay right now. It's day to day, you know. It's like a roller coaster. I have my good days and my bad days right now. But I miss Dad. I really do. So it's going to be a bit before I'm completely back up to stuff in my normal cheerful self. But hopefully, if I'm able to show you what a crafty lioness I can be, you might enjoy watching some of the stuff I do. So I may do a couple live streams where I'm actually doing a project, and you are invited to come and watch. So, and if you have any questions about anything that I do here, like any of the resin stuff, the bead stuff, and then in the future I'm also going to be working with precious metal clays as soon as I can afford them. But I just want to show what I'm doing, and you know, if it helps somebody else get creative, even better. So I will say goodbye to you for now. I'll probably show you more here in the very near future. But until then, I will see y'all later. The crafty lioness checking out. Bye.